Yes, students, we have completed our previous chapter, solid state, right? So once you were clear with the chapter solid state, right, we'll discuss more about the solution state compounds, right? The second chapter, that is under physical chemistry, second chapter under physical chemistry, it is solution. Okay, without wasting time, we'll move to the concept solution. Right, students, when the term solution comes in your mind, you will think that solution means the compounds or whatever the substance are in the liquid state. But it is not so. Anything which is there in the liquid state which is not comes under solution, we can also consider there are not only the liquid solution in the nature, there are also the gaseous solutions are present and as well as the solid solutions also present. Okay, in this chapter, in detail, we are going to discuss what are the different types of solutions, what are the different concentration terms used to measure the concentration or express the concentration of a solution, solubility, how the solid is dissolved in the water, what is the solubility of a gas in the water, then we are discussing the vapor pressure of the solution, and we are going to discuss the colligative properties of the solution and different types of the solutions, that is ideal and non-ideal solutions. Okay, right? We discuss what is the definition of the term solution. Well, actually we use the term solution. If you want to say any substance or any component, anything as a solution, only when if it carries at least of two components. Remember, at least of two components. For example, if you consider the water, water is not the solution. If I add sugar to it, if I add salt to it, it becomes a solution. Understood? So, in the pure state, always it is usually called as what? Solvent. But when you add some of the component to it, that is what? Solute to it, it gives you what? Solution. We know that the simple formula or the term formula used to define the solution term, that is solute plus a solvent, it gives you what? Solution. Clear? But all the solute solvent, it doesn't give you the solution. Remember, if you want to say it as a solution, condition is it must form the homogeneous mixture. Remember, it must form the homogeneous mixture. Because water is a stone and stone in water, we can't call it as a stone solution, stone water solution. Right? But if I add sugar to the water, I can call it as a sugar solution. We can't call it as a stone solution. We can call it as a sugar solution. Okay? So that means what? It must form what? Homogeneous mixture. Okay? So solution means what? It must contain minimum of two components or more than two components, and that component must be mixed with each other and composition must be uniform throughout. Okay? You will be familiar with the term homogeneous mixture. What is a homogeneous mixture? Homogeneous mixture means here the components are completely mixed with each other and composition is uniform throughout. You have discussed in the first PUC, right? Yes. So the same term is used in the solution topic. So solution means what? It is the homogeneous mixture of two or more than two components. Okay, remember the term homogeneous is must. It's the homogeneous mixture. What is the solution? Solution means homogeneous mixture of two or more than two components. So the component used, it may be two or more than two, but only solvent is one there. Only single solvent is present. There are many number of solute is present. Okay. So based on that, you will be having the binary solution, ternary solution, quaternary solution, etc. Binary means what? It carries two components. Ternary solution means what? It consists of three components, like that. Okay. In your syllabus, we are going to discuss about the binary solutions. Okay. So solution means what? It is a homogeneous mixture of the two or more than two components. components, and it carries two or more than two components, so it may be binary or ternary or quaternary solution. The component used are usually termed as a solute and solvent. What is the solute? Solute is the one which is present in the minimum quantity and which is dissolved in the major quantity solvent. Okay, solvent is the one which is present in the major quantity and that has a capacity to dissolve the solute present in it. So remember the relationship between the solute and solvent. Solute is the one which is present at the minimum quantity, and when it is added to the major quantity component, it undergoes what? Dissolution. It undergoes dissolution, and that means it undergoes and it is dissolving 100%. Whereas a solvent means what? Solvent is the one which is present in the major quantity, which has capacity to dissolve the minimum quantity solute in it. Okay, so based on the physical state of a solvent, we were having the different types of solution. Either solvent liquid or we will call it as a liquid solution. And if it is the solid solution. If it is the gas, it is called as what? Gaseous solution. So based on the physical state, we were classifying the solution into different types. Okay, that is solid solution, gaseous solution and liquid solution. Right? What do you mean by the binary solution? Binary solution means solutions having two components. So in your syllabus, we will discuss in detail about the binary solutions. Right? Yes. So binary solutions means what? Solutions are having two components. So there are different binary solutions are present. There are three binary solutions are present. Three types of binary solutions are present. One is the gaseous binary solution. One is the gaseous binary solution, solid binary solution, and the liquid binary solution. Okay? Right. For example, there are 9 types of binary solutions are possible to the 3 types of the solution. Actually, there are 3 types of binary solutions are present. To the each type, once again, 3 types of the subdivided into 3 types of the 3 more types of the solutions also present. To the gaseous solution, 3 more possibilities. To the liquid, 3 more possibilities, and to the solid, 3 more possibilities of the solutions will be there. What do you mean by the binary solutions? Solutions are having any two components. Solutions having two components are called as a binary solution. That two component is one solute, one more is the solvent. So based on the nature of a solvent, based on the physical state of a solvent, there are 3 types of the binary solutions are present. That is gaseous, solid and liquid binary solution. Gaseous is again classified into 3 types. Liquid is again classified into 3 types, and solid is again classified into 3 types. So therefore, there are 9 types of the binary solutions are possible. So this particular this particular chart, you will be having the 1 marks question. Okay, 1 marks questions, example basically there. Okay, the first type we discuss about the gaseous type of the solution. Gaseous solution, remember, solvent is always gas. Okay, solvent is gas. Solvent is what? It is present in the major quantity. In this major quantity, the smaller quantity solute get dissolved. Remember, and the solute in the solvent only. Okay, so when you read the solution, the solute in the solvent, that means gas in the gas. Okay, gas in gas. So I have considered some examples. Okay, clear ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಒಂದೇ example nitrogen ಮಾತ್ರ solvent ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. There are other examples also present. We discuss that. Okay, gas in a gas. Gas in a gas. You can consider that oxygen in nitrogen, or you can consider the mixture of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We can consider that means what? Mixture that must form homogeneous mixture ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಅದನ್ನ ಏನು separate ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಬಾರದು. It must form what? Homogeneous mixture. So therefore, you can consider the oxygen in nitrogen, or you can consider the mixture of oxygen and carbon dioxide. You can consider other gaseous mixture also. Okay, gas in gas. Liquid in the gas. Liquid in the gas. Liquid in gas. One of the example is chloroforming nitrogen. Chloroforming nitrogen. CH3 nitrogen. Or you can also give the simple natural example, liquid in the gas, that is moisture or water vapors in the air. Okay, water vapors in the oxygen, you can give the example. Water vapors in air. The water vapors in oxygen is also be the example for the liquid in the gas. Solid in the gas. Solid in the gas. One of the best example is camphor in nitrogen. The camphor in oxygen. Okay, solid with this camphor vapors are usually considered as a solid. Right? First we say equilibrium chapter you discuss solid gas equilibrium only. So here solid in the gas, that is a camphor in nitrogen, you can give the example. Athava iodine vapors, okay, you can give the example iodine vapors in oxygen. Athava iodine vapors in air. Now air with the direct I consider model because air is a mixture of different gases. Since it is a binary solution, binary and the particular gaseous system now mention okay, so solid in the gas, you can give the example iodine in oxygen athava camphor in nitrogen. So next one, liquid solution. In the liquid solution, solvent is liquid here. Gas in liquid, yeah, one of the simple example, oxygen in water, I can give the example. Carbonated drinks, carbon dioxide in soft drinks, you can give the example. The carbon dioxide in water, you can give the example. Nitrogen in water, also you can give the example. And liquid solution, liquid in the liquid, it is alcohol in the water, you can give the example, but not oil in the water. Remember, oil in water is the homogeneous mixture, heterogeneous mixture. So therefore, I can consider oil in water. Other milk in water also consider madikagala. You can say that water milk in the water it forms homogeneous, right? It forms homogeneous, but milk carries what fat molecules. Fat molecules is oily droplets. After boiling, you know that it forms a layer. Correct? So that we can't consider it as a homogeneous mixture. That is a colloidal solution, or it is a heterogeneous mixture. Right? So liquid can give you the alcohol in water. Solid in liquid, sugar in water, salt in water, or anything which is dissolved in the water. Solid. Adana you consider madbodu. Next one is a solid solution. Solid solution ali. Solid is solid here. Gas in a solid. So gas on a solid. For that you can consider the many of the catalytic reaction. Catalyst on the surface of a catalyst, hydrogen over palladium, athava hydrogen over platinum, athava hydrogen over nickel. Okay, so any catalyst you can consider a solid agtade. Adar surface alli ಏನು gaseous molecule consider ಮಾಡಿ that becomes gas on a solid. So you can say that hydrogen on palladium ಅದು homogeneous ಹೇಗಾಗ್ತದೆ. See, you know that platinum, this one, metal surface, it carries microscopic pores on it. So that each microscopic pores, because of the valency, what happens that when this gaseous molecules, it carries not many of the catalytic sites on the surface. So each surface, after occupying by the gaseous molecule, what it gets blocked. It gets filled by the respective gaseous molecule. So once after it filled by the gaseous molecule, it forms a homogeneous one. Okay, right? So gas on a solid, hydrogen on palladium, athava nickel, hydrogen on nickel, athava platinum. Then liquid on solid. Best example is amalgam of mercury in sodium. Mercury annavantadana liquid in the consider ಮಾಡಿ sodium metal, that is solid. So amalgam of mercury in sodium. Then sodium solid. Yeah, so many of the alloys is under this one. ಇಲ್ಲಿ copper ಅಥವಾ gold, copper and gold ಅಂತ consider ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅಥವಾ other alloys also you can consider. What are the other alloys present? It must be the binary ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, alloys ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. For example, binary ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. You can consider bronze you can consider, that is copper and tin. copper and tin is the bronze, and you can consider the brass. It is copper and zinc, right? Copper and zinc is a brass material. There are other examples also, that is German silver, but German silver alli copper, zinc, along with that nickel also present. So 3 component is present. So therefore it is not the binary solution. So binary andaga you can also consider the alloys consider ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, but not all the alloys. Alloys are especially bronze as well as brass, which carries the 2 components. Okay. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ 1 marks ಗೆ questions ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ usually in the examination, give an example for the gaseous solution in which solute is gas, in which solute is liquid, in which solute is solid. Okay, give an example for the liquid solution in which solute is solute ana change ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. liquid solution ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ solvent liquid ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. 1 marks ಗೆ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, give an example for the solid solution in which solute is solid, give an example for the liquid solution in which solute is liquid, or gaseous solution in which solute is gas or solid or liquid. So ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಟೈಪ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ you have to think the question, think ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. liquid solution ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ solvent liquid ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ solute ಯಾವುದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, that in the solvent ಆಯ್ತಾ. ಈಗ gaseous solution ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ solid in gas, ಆ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಪ್ರತಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಬಾಯ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆಚೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಈ ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಾಯ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದ ಈಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಬೈನರಿ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್, ರೈಟ್. Now, how to measure the concentration of the solution? Usually solid state ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ಮೆಷರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಮ್, weight ಅನ್ನುವಂತ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. So now, if you want to measure the concentration of the solution concentration ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? So already some of the concentration terms you have discussed in your first PUC. What are the terms you have discussed in your first PUC? That is molarity you have discussed, mole fraction already you have discussed, then mass percentage, that other different concept usually came in the first PUC, correct? So here some extra concentration terms, that is mass percentage, volume percentage, then mass by volume percentage, and ppm, that is parts per million. Other concentration terms also there. We discuss in detail about the each concentration term and how to use the formula. Okay, how to use the formula in each concentration terms, right. So next concept is different concentration expressing terms. Concentration expressing terms. Different concentration expressing terms. What are the different terms used to measure the concentration of a solution? Right? The different terms used in the measurement of concentration or expressing the concentration term. The first one is the mass percentage. This mass percentage, it is also being given in W by W or weight by weight percentage. Okay. So remember, in mass percentage, solution is maintained in gram. Okay, solution is maintained in gram, that is in 100 gram. Okay, and both the solute and solvent also, which is present in gram. So total mass of the solution maintained is 100. Remember here, total mass of the solution maintained is 100 here. Okay, right. How can we define the mass percentage? So this mass percentage can be given as, the definition is not there in your textbook. So just remember, just to copy down the definition part, mass percentage can be defined as it is the mass of the solute in the gram present in 100 gram of the solution. Okay, it is the simplest definition for the mass percentage. Mass of the solute in gram present in 100 gram of the solution. Simple, right? If I consider 10% glucose, 10% glucose in W by W, 10% glucose solution. What is the meaning of 10% glucose solution? In weight by weight concept. ಇದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? Again we define this one. Glucose solution ಅಂದ್ರೆ 100 ಗ್ರಾಂ ಇದು ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10% glucose solution ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು meaning? That means 90 gram of glucose is dissolved in 10 gram of glucose is dissolved in 90 gram of water. Okay, solvent is water now. 90 gram of the water. That is the meaning. 10% glucose solution andre you must get the 100 gram of solution. That is 10 gram of the glucose is dissolved in what? 90 gram of the water, and gives you the 100 gram of the glucose solution. Okay, so that means mass of the solute in gram that is present in 100 gram of the solution. Total mass of the solution maintained is here is 100 gram. So therefore the formula used for the mass percentage is, or W by W is, mass of the component or mass of the solute divided by mass of the solution is equal to 100. Mass of the solute, mass of the solution into 100. Because calculate ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಈಗ 10% glucose solution ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ mass of the compound solute 10 gram ಅನ್ನ mass of the solution is 100 into 100. So cancel out ಆಗಿ ಇದು 10%. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So 10% glucose solution ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು meaning? That means 10 gram is dissolved in 90 gram of the water. Right. So first one, mass percentage is equal to what? Mass of the solution in gram present in 100 gram of the solution. Similarly, second one is volume percentage. Volume percentage, and the term used here is V by V. Volume and the ಕೂಡಲೇ ಯಾವ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು? ml. So here the total volume of the solution maintained in ml, 100 ml, and your solute and the solvent is also in ml. Right. But when you give the definition here, mass of the solute in, instead of gram, you have to write ml. Mass of the solution in ml present in 100 ml of the solution. Okay, mass of the solute in ml present in 100 ml of the solution. So therefore, if I write the 10% glucose solution in terms of a volume by volume percentage in the represent indicator, how can we read this? 10% glucose solution ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10% glucose solution ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? That is 10 ml of the glucose is dissolved in 90 ml of water. 90 ml of water. Okay. 10 ml of the glucose is dissolved in 90 ml of water. 25% alcohol prepare ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. How to prepare the 25% alcohol in terms of a volume by volume percentage? That is 25 ml of alcohol must be dissolved in 75 ml of water, so that it will gives you 25% of a alcohol solution. Right. So what is the formula for volume percentage then? It is volume by volume. Mass idalli you have to use volume of the solute in ml. Okay. and mass of the solution ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ volume of the solution. Okay. So this is the difference between the mass percentage and volume percentage. Once you clear with the mass percentage and volume percentage, now you can write the mass by volume percentage. Mass by volume percentage. Next one is mass by volume percentage. Third one is mass by volume percentage. So here it is given as mass, that is W by V. So here the mass by percentage is total volume, mass of the solution, total solution is maintained in volume itself. Solution must be in 100 ml. ml volume alli irbeku, but solute is in gram, solvent is in ml. Okay, so mass of the solute in enagbeku gram, mass of the solute in the gram present in 100 ml of the solution. Okay, mass of the solute in gram present in the 100 ml of the solution. So clear? So therefore mass of the solute in gram present in 100 ml of solution, according to the volume by volume concept prakar 10 ml in 90 ml gives you what? The 10% glucose solution. But according to the mass by volume concept, it is usually given as what? It is usually given as what? That is 10 gram of it, 10 gram of it glucose is dissolved in 100 ml. Okay? Just difference note down ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Previous case in the total mass of the solution maintained it is 100. Both the solute and solvent and add ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ 100 ಬರಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. But here solute since it is there in the gram ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ಕಾರಣ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ವಾಟರ್ ಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ 100 ಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? So therefore solvent must be considered as 100 here. Okay, so here after adding solute to the solvent, association ಆಗಬಹುದು, dissociation ಆಗಬಹುದು. So total mass of the solution it is usually considered as 100 ml, and here 10% glucose solution in weight by volume ಅಲ್ಲಿ prepare ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ what you have to write? 10 gram of glucose is dissolved in 100 ml of water. It gives you what? 100 ml of the glucose solution. Okay, usually in the laboratory solid and liquid alli dissolve ಮಾಡಿ concentration ಅನ್ನು express ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುವಾಗ solid liquid solution dissolve ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು solutions ಅನ್ನು prepare ಮಾಡುವಾಗ we were using this term mass by volume percentage, mass by volume terms ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, 10 gram in 100 ml. Okay, note down the difference. 10 gram in 100 ml, not in the 90 ml. Right. So here the weight by volume, it can be given as volume of the solute. Is it volume of the solute? No, it must be what? Mass of the solute. Mass of solute divided by volume of the solution into 100. So these are the three terms used to measure the concentration. Okay. Next, fourth one, it is ppm. The fourth concentration term used to measure or express is ppm. It is also called as a parts per million. Definition ಹೇಗಿರ್ತದೆ? Parts per million. Parts per million ppm is used when the concentration is too minute. ತುಂಬಾ minute ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. Microgram ಅಲ್ಲಿ present ಇದ್ದಾಗ when the concentration is too minute, then it is usually termed as that solution is called as a ppm solution. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ions ಅಥವಾ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು elements ಏನು ತುಂಬಾ ppm ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ it is good to us. ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ppm level exceed ಆದ ಕೂಡಲೇ what happens, it leads to the what it is poisonous to us. For example, ಈಗ fluoride concentration ಈಗ 2 ppm ಇರಬೇಕು, 1.5 optimum ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ದ ಪಾಯ್ಸನಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಟೀತ್ ಯೆಲ್ಲೋಯಿಶ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಟೀತ್ ಫಾಲ್ ಆಗುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ವಾಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದೆ. ಪೊಟೇಬಲ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟೆಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೀವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ PUC ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ. ಸೊ ದ ppm ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಒನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಮೈನ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್. Okay, so here we can define the parts per million as it is number of parts of the component divided by number of parts of the component divided by total number of all the components in the solution. Total number of all the components of solution into 10 to the power 6. Okay, remember the formula. That means you know 1 gram in 1000 ml, which gives you what 1000 ppm solution. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, 1 ppm ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್. 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನ 1 ಲೀಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ 1000 ml ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯೂಸ್ ವಿತ್ 1000 ppm. So therefore 1 ppm is very minute concentration in solution. Okay, so that's about the parts per million. The next concentration term already you have discussed in your first PUC, that is mole fraction. Usually the mole fraction form is given in capital letter X. If in the solution there are two components are present, A and B, the mole fraction of A is given as what? Number of moles of A and number of moles of all the components present in the solution, right? If in the solution how to calculate the mole fraction of B, that is number of moles of the B divided by number of moles of all the components, right? So therefore how can we give the definition for mole fraction? Mole fraction can be defined as it is number of moles of the component divided by total number of moles of the component, and the full solution alli total number of moles of all the components of the solution ಅಥವಾ total number of moles of solution ಅಂತ ಸಹ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. total number of moles of solution ಅಥವಾ all the components present in the solution. Simple ಆಗಿ number of moles of the component divided by total number of moles of all the components in the solution ಅಥವಾ total number of moles of solution. That is, if in the solution two components are present, the mole fraction of A can be given as number of moles of the component A divided by total number of moles of all the component. Adhe riti mole fraction of B can be given as number of moles of the component B and total number of moles of all the component, that is A and B. Right. So together final formula is number of moles of the component divided by total number of moles of solution. Is a simple definition. So therefore the mole fraction of all the components present in the solution is equal to 1 unity. Remember this. The mole fraction of all the components present in the solution is equal to unity. It is equal to 1. If you calculated the mole fraction of one component, you can easily calculate the mole fraction of one more component easily. Okay, so this is about the term mole fraction. So mass percentage, volume percentage, mass by volume percentage, and the mole fraction and parts per million. So we discuss more about the molarity and molality in the next class, and the problems, numerical problems related to the formulas we discussed in the class work. Okay, pratiyondu formula is important, and based on the formula you will be having some entrance level questions also. CET ಗೆ NEET ಗೆ ಸಹ ಇದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಸಹ ಇದರ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಹ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ರೈಟ್. ಸೊ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ನ್ಯೂಮರಿಕಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ